Hey guys, my Porsche Boxster Spyder is back from a full PPF application. So it's completely new with some new 10 mils protection in the front, as new ceramic coating as well. But more important in this video, I want to just walk you around and show you how it looks like up close and personal, so like a little camera, like in-person kind of view. And also to show you what it's like to have actually pre-cut PPF on the car, because there is this big debate sometimes with a lot of people who do PPF. We do hand cut because it's better. Now I choose pre-cut deliberately. Why is it so? I want to talk a little bit more in this video, okay? So that's my car, the Porsche Boxster Spyder, the 981 generation. So something interesting happened a couple of days ago. Just want to share that before we start. In Malaysia, there's only 2 of these cars. And there's a seasoned car dealer that came by the Xpel showroom and he said, hey, you put out so many miles on this car. How can you do that? Because it's a rare car, you want to keep it, right? But for me, cars are meant to be driven. That's why I want the best protection for my car, Xpel. Okay, so I took this car up to Thailand, did a 6,000 plus kilometers drive, and after I came back, I didn't wash it for almost 3 weeks, close to 4, and then after I washed it, it just looked brand new. And that goes to show how impressive is the technology from Xpel, the coating, the PPF, it's just amazing, and not just the level of protection, but the level of aesthetic preservation, right? So without further ado, let's dive into the little details on the car, especially talking about pre-cut and hand cut, because this is a topic that's worth talking about. Okay, so my car, I choose pre-cut. Okay, and one of the misconceptions is that, hey, if I use pre-cut, I'll get a lot of edges exposing, and then but look, it's all wrapped up. Look at that, all wrapped up. Now, with the exception of the edges over here. Now, the reason why they can't wrap over this edge, because PPF needs something to cling onto. Okay, and unlike normal plastic, TPU is very stubborn. It's you try to cut it with a knife, it's really stubborn, right? It's very hard to cut through. So if you fold it in here, it's almost guaranteed within a couple of hours it's going to pop up. That's why they have a pre-cut that comes out like this, and then it folds out. Now, normally pre-cut ends around here, but if you request from Xpel, what you can do is have them print a little bit more. They can do an adjustment of the DAP system, and then they can fold it for all areas. So like the headlamps over here, right? You can do that. There is no exposing parts. Look at that. Okay. Now the only exception is when it's 2 panels meeting each other, right? So they will have one part, which is in this case, the top part folding in, because you see, this angle might get stones, and the bottom part they don't want to print all the way up, because when you have 2 plastics rubbing on each other, it will just peel off anyways. So they have done this very intentionally in Xpel Malaysia. Pre-cut not only gives a more efficient way to cut out the PPF, actually is very important. Now, I've got the privilege to talk to some of the PPF experts and also touch PPF and try to cut some PPF myself. It's actually really hard to cut because it's TPU material, so it's kind of like jelly. So when you try to cut it, right, it's really hard. So when you're trying to cut it on the car, what will happen is you might put in too much force, and then you pierce through, and then pop, and that's it. You start cutting other parts of the car. So it is very risky to do hand cut. Not saying that no one can do it, but there is the risk of damaging your car. And I've talked to people like Chris, who I've recently interviewed on my channel. He's been doing PPF for 20 years, and even he admits that the risk, even for him, to cut the car is there, and therefore he always prefers pre-cut. Now, the problem about pre-cut is that you need to buy the machine, it's expensive, okay? And but I think, in order to provide the best service for your customer, these technologies are very important, right? I just want to take you one more time up close to look at all the edges, right? So down here, there is folding in, okay? You can opt for that. But the top part, they deliberately not fold in because they don't want 2 PPF to rub on each other, right? But on the overall, it looks almost invisible unless you really go and scrutinize all the little edges. Let me try to find some like this one over here and stuff like that, right? So the misconception is hand cut is nicer than pre-cut. Well, not necessarily. Look at that, right? So I just want to show you on that first point.
Because the car surface is not smooth, it is common that some installers stretch the PPF to fit panels, but in my opinion, it defeats the purpose of choosing a high-quality PPF.
Now the second point about pre-cut and hand cut, PPF is not just plastic. There is a top coat on top of it, right? So when you stretch the material, the TPU can do the stretching, but the top coat is something akin to our lacquer on the car, so it's harder. So what happens when you stretch the bottom layer? The top layer opens up. So you lose that protection, that very important protection that protects from UV, and gives you that nice glossy look, and protecting from the yellowing and stuff like that. So why do that? Why stretch and break the integrity of the PPF? So when you try to do hand cut and you're trying to stretch it across the bumper, you pull and pull and pull. While it looks nice, you're breaking that structure. Okay, and eventually over time, in my opinion, I mean, you buy the PPF for its protection. So when you do a pre-cut, it's perfect, so it goes straight onto it without any stretching. So you're keeping the thickness of the PPF there. So not only the TPU is the same thickness, but the top coat is protected. So the bumper, or the fender can be quite challenging for PPF application, right? So you can see it's here and there. So in the pre-cut module that DAP software uses, there is two pieces. There's one piece over here, and then there's one piece over here. Now, for two reasons. Now, DAP is not just a software. In fact, Xpel's first invention, or rather their first progress into car protection, is actually using DAP. They will use 3M's PPF, and then they will use their software to cut out the materials. Okay, and it's not just something they draw out. They actually do a lot of research. They try to wrap it and try to find the most efficient way, the best way to protect their cars. Now, this part, if you own a GT4 or Boxster Spyder, you will know this part is the one that gets the most damage, right? So if you cut out this little part over here, let's say it gets very damaged, you can just rip out this part and then replace it with a new one, okay? And number two, so imagine if you have to stretch this across this crease. When you stretch it across, you're going to thin the PPF. And because TPU is so stubborn, it might pull back again. But with a pre-cut, you stick it on, it doesn't pull back, right? Because it's flat without being stretched. Okay, that's why pre-cut again will usually retain most of its aesthetics, especially over years, right? A lot of hand cuts, they start to shrink and pull back because, that's what TPU is. TPU's got self-healing, which is it will pull back to its original form. Okay, so that's something to note why pre-cut, in my opinion, is better. Now, let's talk a bit about the 10mm application. I do it on the front. Okay, the fender, the bumper, and then the side rocker panels, the place that basically gets the most exposure to damage. Now, one of the unspoken characteristics, other than having more protection because of the thickness of the material, is the gloss. The 10mm has a little bit more gloss than the 8mm, which I love because I like glossy look, I don't like the matte look, and it just really accentuates the curve of the cars. So look at that, it's so beautiful and sexy. All right, I'm going to stop myself from salivating over my car. But yeah, that's the 10mm application, okay? So, if you guys really want the best protection, you can go for Xpel's 10mm, but the 8mm is pretty good as well. For me, I just want a little bit more because I do whack my car pretty hard on weekends, okay? And just give you that peace of mind, okay? Now, the last thing is I'm trying out Xpel's latest Fusion ceramic coating, right? This one is this top end coating, the latest developed ceramic coating. I got it applied on my car. I haven't washed it since I applied it on Monday, and it still looks amazing. The way it sheets water, the way it's hydrophobic is amazing, right? So at first, it looks like hydrophobicity, a lot of water bubbles on top, but as I drive, I notice it sheets water very quickly. So water moves away from the car quickly, which helps reduce water spots. And the gloss, just looks so freaking good on top of the PPF, right? So yeah, I got ceramic coating for the PPF. I got ceramic coating also for all the plastic trims and also my wheels, right? And that's how you preserve the car for a long run. Yeah. But anyways, hope this helps you answer the question if you want pre-cut, hand cut. In fact, I will, go ahead and assert that Xpel's PPF actually increases the aesthetic and preserve the aesthetic of your car because of the gloss, right? Yeah, so now the car is fully wrapped in PPF. Every panel has a PPF, and it's really hard to tell. Alright guys, that's it for this little vlog. Hope this answers your questions about PPF. You know, I did a full interview series with a 20-year-old veteran senior director of installations with Xpel. So that's a really good 30-minute interview to cover most of the FAQs around PPF. So I highly recommend that if you're going to invest a good sum of money on PPF for your car. Alright, with that, thanks for watching guys. Hope you find it useful. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Share this video with someone who's going to get PPF as well, right? And let me know in the comments below what you think about PPF, right? Thanks for watching, love you guys, and keep it 100.
Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see it.